Hi, how are you? It is 3 p.m. I'm like a French train, always on time. You know, the French always have the TGV on time. And I'm so happy to be here with you again. I love it. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful summer. It was definitely too short. You know, we all await for the summer and then it comes and it goes. Way too short, way too fast. I know everyone probably had a great time. I know I did. And basically, sometimes after the summer, especially, we pay the price. Too much sun exposure, too many sunscreens on the face and the back. And clients are coming in saying, I never had breakouts. I don't know what's going on with my skin. I don't know what to do. This is why we chose this September to actually start and talking about Hydra. We normally have the 4-layer facial promotion, but we had a 4-layer promotion in June, which was perfect. All these parties, graduations, weddings, the 4-layer facial is a perfect solution for this gorgeous complexion each and every time, no matter where you do it or who does it, results are guaranteed. So let's get to business. I want to welcome all of you that have joined us. We have 350 people signed up, and I'm very, very happy to share this hour with you. For those of you who don't know me, I am yours truly, Lydia Sarfati. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of Repechage, and I'm very happy to share with you my knowledge of almost 50 years. When I started with my own business in 1977, and prior to that, working for 7 years at very prestigious skincare salons in Manhattan, I was known better, not like the Queen of Seaweed, but Queen of Blackheads. That was my title. And people would say, Lydia, you're the best squeezer, the best pimple popper. And to tell you the truth, even today, I still love deep pore cleansing. I just have in the academy, I have a class that we have ladies from Virgin Islands and Georgia and New Jersey and from all over that have come for the Hydra class, hands-on workshop. And I have just demonstrated the facial. And do you know what? I feel so satisfied because we had such juicy, amazing comedons and pustules and whiteheads. Oh, I'm just high on this extraction process. So great to meet you on this webinar. What makes Repechage a perfect partner? Besides having me as your cuckoo leader on the head, you also have a wonderful team of Repechage trainers, specialists, product developers, research and developers, my daughter Shiri, who has become a partner in May, my husband David, who has become a partner in '96, and my wonderful team of people that really, truly come to work every single day and are so dedicated to delivering 100% satisfaction in all areas of our business, whether it is manufacturing, shipping, education, R&D, customer service. You have a question, we have an answer. So this is what Repechage is all about. We've been leaders in skincare since 1980. We are today an ISO 9001 certified company. We are pioneers in the seaweed-based skincare products. We are Sedesco Associate Member. I am also Sedesco Chairperson for USA. And we have our own process, proprietary process of seaweed extractions. So here it is, under all one roof. I hope when you come and visit us, come. We have so many great education, hands-on classes. Everything that we do really is all about you. So I hope that you will come and share your knowledge with us. So today we are talking about acne and problem skin, and there is nothing more satisfying for an esthetician than to help clients walk out from your salon with a clear complexion, where they feel like they can look in the mirror and actually like themselves. I have to tell you, in all the years of my working as an esthetician, and believe me, I get excited about wrinkles too, but I never am as excited as I am when I can help someone clear their skin. So what are the statistics? 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, there is a huge percentage of both female and male that experience acne at some age in their life. And you would look at this number and you would say, 50s, women have pimples, that's not even possible. Well, darlings, wrinkles and pimples in the 50s because we go through the menopause. And the menopause decreases the level of estrogen in our body and increases the level of the testosterone. So imagine it's kind of a trick. I think it's kind of a joke on women because all of a sudden women become tougher, the voice gets deeper, we start growing hair and whiskers and beards and pimples. Oh my goodness, not a pretty sight. Thank God God also has designed that our eyesight is going bad. I'm only joking. But let me share with you, we can help, Repisage can help at every decade of your life. You can have clear complexion every decade of your life, and this is why. So acne is the most common skin condition. It's affecting over 50 million Americans on an annual basis. And acne is reaching younger generations. So think about it, that a 13-year-old is experiencing acne, a 12-year-old is experiencing acne, a 12-year-old already is saying, I've got pimples. What's going on? A lot of it is hereditary, we will talk about it, but a lot of it is also the food that this generation is consuming. Everything is GMO, modified, and hormone injected to make the chicken bigger, faster in one day. So this is something that we have to take into consideration when we think of our nutrition as well. And nearly 85% of all people have acne at some point. And each year, Americans spend more than $2 billion on acne products. So when you ask an average person that suffers from issues of the skin, 11% will go to see a dermatologist, 20% will go to skincare center, 30% will use over-the-counter medication like an OTC, and 40% will do absolutely nothing. So you have a huge market opportunity with 40% of people that do nothing. We can help those people that do nothing. We can help people in all arenas that will have a clearer and better looking skin. So just a very quick overview of the skin, because I think histology is always important. No matter how many years you're an esthetician, you always should reference and refer. When I would see my clients in my Manhattan spa, the first thing that I would do is a consultation in the front of the skin chart. You know why? Because a lot of people thought you pick up blackheads on the corner of the street. They did not realize that the blackheads are a production of your sebaceous gland that secretes sebum, which is kind of a waxy, yellowish substance that literally oxidizes when it reaches the top when there is an opening. So going over, just showing the client, here is your pilosebaceous opening, this is where your hair comes from, but also we have your sebaceous glands, and this is where the sebum is produced. So I think having the visual is so helpful, especially during the diagnostic part, during your consultation with your client.
The skin is the largest organ in our body. It performs the following functions. Protection. The skin keeps our insides in and the outside world outside. It provides physical, chemical, and microbial protection. Keratin, the outer layer of cells, sheds water and stops harmful germs from invading the body.
Oh. I'm not technically, I'm still kind of playing here.
Skin's elasticity withstands physical pressure and reduces injuries.
Press the wrong button.
Regulation. Adjusting topography, such as goosebumps, as well as sweating, helps regulate body temperature. Sensation. Skin is a sensory organ. Nerve endings in the epidermis respond to heat, cold, pressure, pain, and location. Secretion. The skin secretes sebum from the sebaceous glands. And storage. The skin produces vitamin D. The structure of the skin. The skin is made up of two layers, the epidermis, which is the outermost layer, and the dermis, which contains capillaries, collagen, and elastin. The epidermis and the acid mantle coating it are the first lines of defense your skin has against the hostile environment. The epidermis protects us, serving as a barrier to keep out germs, heat, cold, dirt, and gases, while keeping in water, blood, minerals, vitamins, hormones, and proteins. The epidermis, also called the outer skin, is composed of 5 layers of cells. Although most epidermal cells are dead or dying, there is constant activity going on inside this layer. During their life cycle of approximately 21 days, epidermal cells move from the basal layer toward the dead outer layer. The different layers of stratified squamous epithelial tissue in the epidermis are stratum basal. The stratum basal or basal layer lies in contact with the papillary dermis. It's where new cells are constantly being formed by cell division. 2 types of cells are formed: keratinocytes, which are keratin-forming cells, and melanocytes, which are melanin-forming cells. Stratum spinosum. The stratum spinosum lies just above the basal layer. It is often called the prickly layer or sometimes the stratum malpighi. Stratum granulosum. The stratum granulosum contains mature cells arranged in 1 to 10 layers. A protein called keratohyalin causes disintegration of the cell nucleus and begins filling them with keratin. The dead cells now travel on to the next layer. Stratum lucidum. The stratum lucidum contains a clear band of flattened, closely packed cells. It contains elaiodin, which will turn into keratin. And the stratum corneum. The outermost layer of the skin is the stratum corneum, or horny layer, consisting of dead squamous cells made of keratin. This layer is constantly being shed off to be replaced by cells moving in from below. The dermis, located just beneath the epidermis, is the thickest part of the skin, accounting for over 90% of the skin's mass. It is a layer of dense, irregular connective tissue containing nerves, blood vessels, and lymph vessels. The dermis contains collagenous, elastic, and reticular fibers, and is comprised of 6% elastin and 71% of collagen. Collagen provides strength to the skin structure, while elastin provides the resiliency. The dermis houses the hair follicle and the sebaceous gland. However, these are lined by epidermal cells. The problems arise from irregularities involving epidermal cells, but the proximity of blood and lymph in the dermis opens the door to dramatic events. This is the key to understanding the physiological events resulting in acne, as well as the importance of proper extraction technique. Knowledge of the skin's histology is vital to performing the Hydra acne facial treatment.
So why this is important for us to know? Because it really is the answer to everything that we do. So when we look at acne, very often we're going to have a client come in with also an inflammatory condition. So I'm going to share with you something. So here we have comedones, right? So if you see on this picture, we have open, we have closed comedones. If you look on the picture on your right, you see these really deep comedones that are almost indented inside, and you would think, how are you going to remove them? Because these comedones have been inside, I can guarantee you, maybe 10, 12, or even 15 years. You can see in the inflammatory area in the center is where probably a client tried to remove that comedone by themselves without prepping the skin, and it caused a breakage of the sebaceous wall. So here we have the inflammation accompanied that as well. So how would you treat this type of skin with these type of comedones? I find that doing a disincrustation with our disincrustation solution, saponification of these comedones will help with easier extraction, and you will see that in the film later. So with acne lesions, you have open comedone, you have closed comedone. The comedone is closed, it means that we have an accumulated dead skin cell layer over it, covering, and we need to perform either disincrustation, or we can perform also a chemical peel such as salicylic acid blend with alpha hydroxy blend. So for example, the Repechage BioLite peel would work really well on it, and that's a pH of 3.5 with a blend of acids of about 30%.
Acne is an inflammatory lesion of the sebaceous glands. The first signs of acne are usually seen during puberty, when there's an increase in androgenic hormones. This stimulates production of sebum, filling the sebaceous duct. Overabundant sebum renders the barrier more penetrable and easily irritating. The inflamed walls of the sebaceous gland opening hinder emptying of the contents. This plugged follicle can create an open comedone or blackhead. The color of blackheads is broken down melanin. In closed comedones or whiteheads, the sebaceous gland isn't dilated wide enough for the sebum to reach the surface. Instead, the sebum remains enclosed by the epidermis. Closed comedones may often become inflamed and progress into papules. Papules are formed when stagnant sebum is broken down by bacteria into short-chain fatty acid. This irritates and inflames the wall of the sebaceous gland. These lesions, or papules, are small, solid, slightly raised areas of the skin, less than ½ inch in diameter. They may appear rounded, smooth, or rough, and can be skin-colored, red, pink, or brown. The increased blood circulation of the inflamed papule engages the immune system, sending white blood cells into the region and creating pus. The result is a pustule. Pustules feature more visible inflammation than papules.
So you understand the various different things. So papules are these solid, slightly raised areas. And again, if you have a client coming in with papules, but also they have a lot of inflammation, pay attention. Do not use a steamer or a vaporizer on this condition, because you can only worsen the redness, irritation. Here again, you would want to do disincrustation mask. You can incorporate also the disincrustation solution with a disincrustation galvanic machine. So that will all help to literally cause saponification of these papules and will help you to remove them much easier. Milia, you have to check with your state board, because some states prohibit the use of Lancet, some states allow it. But the only way to remove milia is by using a lancet that will lift off the accumulated dead skin cell layer on the surface, and then you just gently extract it. If your state does not allow you to use lancet, direct this client to a dermatologist. Do not try to pop them, squeeze them, or remove them manually, because you only will injure the skin, bruise it, and it is not going to come out from the skin. Now, these are inflamed pustules. You see a visible inflammation. So when we see a client like that, there are also other issues going on in their body, because inflammation is also internal. So their diet needs to be checked. I would recommend them going to a nutritionist, but just as an overall advice, you're not a nutritionist, but they should look up at foods that cause inflammation. And very often the culprit of the food group is dairy products, heavy, greasy, fried foods, also sometimes red meats. Processed food is horrible, as well as sugar. Plain sugar is just horrible for this condition. So again, if the client has suffered with inflammatory acne condition, I would definitely have a nutritionist involved in treatment of the skin as well. When it comes to a facial, I would not only provide them with a hydromatic facial, but I also would incorporate the red out facial that will increase the redness and sensitivity in the skin. I would also recommend for them to use, for example, our red out serum that is very helpful in reducing the redness and the sensitivity. So what are the determining factors? Hereditary hormones, certain cosmetics, especially cosmetics that contain isopropyl myristate, and lanolin. Although lanolin is not comedogenic substance, lanolin is more occlusive, but together with isopropyl myristate, it really causes a havoc on the skin. You also have environmental exposure, solar exposure, certain sunscreens, and medication, especially if the client is using steroids, prednisone, for inflammatory conditions. So this is probably most common acne condition. We have very good results, especially when we see clients that have gone to dermatologists, have been on Accutane, doing all these things, but they still suffer, they still have issues with their skin. We find that we can help them, especially the reduction of the irritation, redness, the greasiness in the skin, reduction of pores on the face, and just really truly help them with the overall condition of the appearance of the skin. So definitely hydromatic products, but here in this kind of conditions, I also pull in our red out products as well to help the client with the inflammation. This acne excoriae is really more of a issue of psychological condition. I would recommend this client to also seek a psychology help with a psychologist. You can really see this condition because the marks on the face will be linear, and some people, especially young people, when they are placed on Adderall or also other medications for their hyperactivity, it will make their skin feel itchy, psychologically or not, so they're going to be starting to picking all the time. So here again, I would refer and work with either a psychologist and a doctor to help the skin condition. What you can do is with this type of condition, I would do the red out facial. Acne cosmetica, it's like one of my favorites because I can be like a miracle worker. I cure this in 2 weeks, no time, 14 days, and they clear. Basically what I do, I throw away all of their makeup and I throw away all of their skincare and I put them on Repassage. And it's like a miracle. 14 days later, they come in and they're smiling. They have a perfectly clear skin. So the comedogenic ingredients are not only found in cosmetics and skincare products, but also they found in hair care products and makeup. So it's very, and how do you determine what is acne cosmetica and what is acne vulgaris? Basically, place your hands gently over the skin, and if the skin feels like there's little particles of farina on the face, right, this granule thing, this is acne cosmetica. Get rid of everything you use, get on Repassage, and it's going to be a miracle. Now, this is really a very severe type of acne. Very often, this type of client, especially a male client, has been on Accutane, and some of it, the results are here. Oh, I have to tell you, I have had clients with this type of condition, and it's really, truly heartbreaking because they are really suffering. It is horrible emotional stress on them. We have worked very closely, even back in the 70s, with dermatologists in treating this condition, and we've been pretty successful. When the client is, a male client is on Accutane with our facial treatments, and especially what has worked very well, especially if they on Accutane, with our Repassage C serum, it has worked brilliantly. Also today we have a new product called Vitacura B3 Serum Complex, and it's terrific, especially because it has the niacinamide, helps with tightening of the pores as well. This is very severe, and you can really help this client. So the various causes of acne, acne detergent, acne mallorca, acne mechanica, so young boys playing or men playing football from the helmet and the leather straps, always they have to pay attention in this area to keep it clean, and also acne steered by medication, especially steroids. So a full-blown condition, you need to have all three players. You need to have a bacterium, enclosure, and sebum. So again, enclosure, bacteria, sebum together. When you have a comedone, you only have enclosure and sebum. When you have acne bacteria with sebum, you have a pustule. When you have all three players involved, you have a full-blown acne. So it's always important to keep the bacteria at bay because, look, where is it? I mean, give me the phone. People go all the time, especially young people are always on the phone, always on the phone. This is filthy. Okay, if we would put it under the Petri dish, I don't know what we would find in here. But it's very important that we wipe, that we walk around with wipes, wipe these things out, use the alcohol, just spray it, clean your hands often, wash your hands, don't touch your face. You know, all of those things are very, very important because this is how we can prevent infection from taking place. So let's control it. What do we need as an esthetician in the treatment room? I always recommend high frequency. Again, you have to check your state. I always recommend to have galvanic machine. And we also have created, for those states that don't have, we have that wonderful little device called Ionto Massager. So it's a galvanic DC current. And we have, on positive, we have the iontophoresis for serums, and on negative, we have it for disincrustation. So actually, we're going to offer this device complimentary for all of you who will take the test with a purchase of $250 only. So that's a $45 value. You buy $45 worth of repassage product, which is easy to spend, and you will get this fabulous massager that you can use with the desincrustation solution or for hydration with the serum, the B3 serum. So it's really brilliant little thing. But if you have your big machine at home, in the office, in the salon, go ahead and use that. So if you're going to use anything that you're going to reuse and not throw away, you do need the autoclave sterilizer, okay? For all of your electrodes, you need to have 70% alcohol or just common household Clorox immersed in the solution for 20 minutes. Also, barbicide will work. So this is it. I don't own Clorox company, but people see this label, they understand when you say sodium hypochlorite, they understand now it's Clorox, it's cheap, and it's really good. But your salon needs to be clean not once a day or once a week after every client. So your mag lamp has to be wiped, your trolleys have to be wiped down, your sink area has to be wiped down, your sheets need to be changed. You really need to keep it clean. And not just clean like, oh, it looks clean, but really clean. And that's very important in preventing of disease and infection. So what do we need? We need a mag lamp. We may need a steamer only when applicable. We need high frequency, sterilizer, Sharpie container for lenses if your state permits it, disincrustation or galvanic machine, silver bowls, and Ionta massager. So here is a hydromatic facial. SQ number HMRX for oily problem skin. And the beauty about hydromatic facial or any of our signature facial is what? Everything you need is in the box, which is really great. Everything you need is in the box. But one thing that I always ask and would love for you to incorporate is when you're doing a facial, whether it is hydromatic facial, whether it is a 4-layer, whatever facial you're doing, take all the components out, put it on the tray, and present it to the client. Say, Madam, this is your facial. Everything that is on the tray is just for this facial, just for you. Do you know what they're going to say? Wow, that is a lot of product that goes in just for my facial. It's different than some of these other things that people do. So present it to them. Why is this important? It's sanitary, controlled, and it's perfect each and every time. There are many steps into this facial, so it's everything numbered. You won't forget and you won't get lost. You will know exactly what it is that you are doing, okay? So the first thing is first consultation. Always take the right consultation with the client. Ask the questions, find out what it is that they do. For example, they might be diabetic. If they have diabetes, you're not going to use lenses because why? They won't stop bleeding, all right? So these are the things that you must ask your client. This is the consultation chart. Very, very important. Then you do, and you see how the girl, the esthetician is standing. She's looking, smiling. It's very important that you don't put the client flat on the bed and you hover over them like this, because that makes them feel very uncomfortable and a bit intimidating. So always have them at the eye level when you do the consultation. That is a very important tip. Ask about their concerns, very important. Don't just go like, blah, 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 blah. This is exactly what we're going to be doing, and this is your skin type. Ask, what are your concerns with your skin? What is that you've been really suffering with? Talk to them, ask them questions, engage them. That is very important. If they are pregnant, if they're nursing, do they have allergies? Are they on Accutane, currently or before? These are all very important things to know. So once you do the consultation, you then do what? Analysis or diagnosis. You're going to put on gloves, cover the eye area, take your mag lamp, and analyze the condition of the skin. Discuss with them what is relevant and what is important. Third step, you're going to design a plan of what is that you're going to do for them, okay? Are you going to use the incrustation? Are you going to use a steamer? What are you going to do? Write it down, keep it a record. Why is this important? Because you won't remember next time they come. Like this, it's all written and you have it. If you're going digital, keep the same information digitally. Very important. So now we're ready for the facial. So step one will be your cleansing solution, which is our Hydromatic face wash. And Hydromatic face wash has wonderful ingredients: pyrethoridium zinc oxide, salicylic acid, wonderful, also calming and very, very nice herbal extracts and plant extracts. Your surfactant here is cocamidopropylbutane, which is a natural foaming and cleansing agent. You can apply the cleanser with your fingers, but if you want to produce some foam, you can use disposable brushes and create a very nice, rich lather on the skin with it. It feels really good when you do these little brushing, or you have a brushing machine, you can really use it. You would skip the brushing machine if you have active pustules, but you could use a brushing machine, for example, if you have comedones. If you don't have a brushing machine, you can just use these nice little disposable brushes. I love doing that. It feels really good. Then we're going to do step two, which is Hydromatic Prep Serum, which is actually our disincrustation solution. The pH here is high, so it's pH of 9 to 10. So what it's going to help us with removal of the dead skin cells, but also will help with saponification of these very hard comedones. You can use this if you have with the galvanic or the galvanic set on minus, and you can do it for about 7 minutes. So it will help with softening, with saponification. So when you're ready to do the extractions, it will just come out, slide out of the pore. It's going to be really amazing. I just did it. I loved it. It was, the students were crazy about it. So beside the pyrethoridium zinc oxide, we also have here salicylic acid. You could also use this massager. So you could apply the serum, use the massager. This is a silver ball massager, and apply it in areas where the skin is affected with a lot of the comedones, with a lot of the pustules. That feels also very nice. Doesn't need refrigeration, and it feels very cold to the touch. This is stainless steel, 312 gauge. Okay? So we're going to show you. And then we're going to use the disincrustation mask. Disincrustation mask, it contains sulfur, so you would not use it on clients with sulfur allergy. So if people say, well, I don't know if I have sulfur allergy, they can take antibiotics like tetracycline, which is sulfur-based. They can take the mask, okay? So you mix it on, you mix the 3A, which is the sulfur algin powder, with the disincrustation gel, apply it for 10 minutes, remove it, and then you're ready for your extraction. So extractions, you know, even if you have like stage 4 acne, there isn't a pore without a blackhead or a pimple, you don't spend 1 hour doing extractions. Time limit 10 minutes, okay? Even if you love it, like I do, You don't want to do it more than 10 minutes. So from the very beginning, during the consultation, you have to let the client know how often they will have to come in order for you to clear all of their face, okay, neck area, face, back, whatever it is. So 10 minutes at a time. If they have tons and tons of blackheads, they may want to have to come in once a week for the next 6 sessions or 10 sessions or 12 sessions. That depends. You will determine that. Use gloves. I like vinyl gloves because I find sometimes people have allergies to latex. Use sterile cotton. Use also lancets if your state permits. If you're going to use a lancet, always should be sterile. Use one per client. Do not reuse it. And make sure you have a Sharpie box that you're going to keep your lancets and give it away.
Wearing your vinyl gloves, wrap your index fingers with cotton that had few drops of hydromatic astringent applied to it. For proper removal of comedones, use the side of your fingertips to exert firm pressure on the skin surrounding the comedone. Spread the skin around the comedone and begin to apply light pressure. Do not squeeze with your nails, only the side of your fingertips. Another effective but gentle way to remove a comedone is with sterile cotton swabs. Hold the swabs with your index finger and thumb and gently press down on both sides of the follicle. If the content don't expel right away, move the swabs gently from side to side and it will lift up. To extract milia, hold the lancet horizontal to the skin and gently pierce. After having pierced the skin, take sterile swabs or wrapped index fingers and lift out the content. After each extraction, dispose of the lancet in the sharp box. Do not try and reuse the lancet. Extraction should be no more than 10 to 15 minutes total.
So you have seen various different. So right after extractions, we would do step 4, which is the astringent. The astringent has the salicylic acid, allantoin, chamomile, lavender, periperidium, zinc oxide. So it really is very healing. Now, when you apply the astringent, don't go like this. Don't wipe it. Put it on the cotton and then just pat it. Pat it on all the areas where you have done the extraction. So just pat it on gently on the face. Step 5 will be application of hydromatic mask. The hydromatic mask contains ictimol, CMOD, kaolin, zinc oxide. Smells wonderful, very clean, very kind of medical, and deep cleanses, reduces the bacteria, reduces the oiliness and greasiness, and calms the skin down. 10 minutes. So when you put the mask on, if you have the high frequency, you can use the high frequency over the mud mask for 5 minutes. It will help with the healing process as well. Remove the mask by using cotton mummy. So you take 3 strips of cotton, wet them, apply it, and here one of the things you can do, use again your silver massager to massage over the cotton, but what you're going to feel is also absorption of the massager will help with the absorption of the mask inside the cotton. So that's a very nice trick. So here it is, again, silver ball massager. It's very nice and heavy, so it will help with absorption of the mask, and it will help with the easier removal of the mask as well. The final, which will be a calming step, It's a 3-part mask. It's calcium calamine powder, real organic buttermilk, and calming tea blend. So you first mix 6A with 6B, mix it, combine those 2 powders together. Then at the end, add the calming tea blend, massage, work it in, and you can apply it either with the spatula or the brush. Leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes. Again, remove it with cotton thoroughly from all over the face. The final step would be using the iontophoresis on the skin. And here you could also, if the skin also feels a little bit dehydrated, you can put a serum like the C serum, and you can use it on the positive with the iontophoresis. So you have a wonderful iontomassager, and on positive is to rebalance and moisturize the skin for 5 minutes. And you can also use our galvanic gel for hydration. It's a little bit more cost effective. So remember, red, which is a minus position, helps you with softening and dissolving dead skin cells. So we would use cataphoresis with our prep serum and anaphoresis with our galvanic gel. So that will help with hydration and moisture. So what is galvanic current? What is iontophoresis? So it's a non-invasive method of propelling high water-based concentration substances, either alkaline or acidic. And it is, for us, we use a small appliance that is a direct current DC that's applied to the skin without any side effects. So it's really fantastic. You can use it also, you can recommend it for the client to use it at home as well. Final step will be the Hydramedic mattifying moisturizer, and that will help with calming the skin because it has perferidium zinc oxide and a wonderful blend of teas, salicylic acid, willow bark extract, and lavender. And finale, again, use your Hydramedic, over the Hydramedic mattifier. You can put a gauze, you can go direct, finish off with basically the wonderful high frequency. So remember, argon gas, which is violet, blue, it has a nice bactericidal effect. When we use the high frequency over the mask, we used red, which helps with the healing. And here are some before and after results. Actually, I've met this young, beautiful lady in Estonia, and she was so happy because our distributor and our esthetician, Anu, has actually helped to heal her skin by using both the Hydramedic and the Red Out Facial. We also help with Hydramedic for back acne, especially for clients that have been on steroids. So what are your recommendations? Always recommend the products. Never be shy, because if the client leaves your salon, and they don't take the program at home, they're not going to have the right results. So what are the key ingredients? It's seaweed, it's perferidium, it is salicylic acid, willow bark extracts. Willow bark extracts are excellent because they reduce with the accumulated dead skin cells. Kojic acid, which naturally lightening agent derived from mushrooms. It's excellent. Lightening, brightening, we have that in our drying lotion, for example. So drying lotion not only is going to heal the pimple, but also prevent the darkening spots with it. So this is terrific product, wonderful ingredients as well. And you have hyaluronic acid that's very hydrating without causing greasiness on the skin. licorice root extract, very soothing and calming for the skin, ictimol, which is a mineral source of typhon sulfonate, and it is also preventing the growth of bacteria. Allantoin, hydrating, calming, soothing. Calamine, terrific calming, soothing agent. Zinc, sebum regulating and helps to reinforce skin barrier. Sulfur, we know what it helps with exfoliation, draws out the impurities, and controls excess oil. Aloe, very calming and soothing, and all of these sensory essential oils that are in the Hydromatic line, basil, ylang ylang, wonderful lavender, just, very often products that are made for problem skin are not very nice in smell. So for me, it was very important to create a brand that will have great results with, this great product as well. So here is your collection, and we have Hydromatic face wash. So we have the Hydromatic astringent, deep cleansing with Hydromatic sea mud mask, moisturizer, clear complexion drying lotion. This was my first product. I actually had it made in 1977, believe it or not, and we used to call it the Zit Zapper. And exfoliation with the Hydromatic wonderful beta hydroxy acids. Use this nightly on your skin. If you have skin that's very irritated, I would use the beta hydroxy serum first and then followed by the red out serum. So it's really wonderful combination. So again, we have the Hydromatic face wash. Use it twice a day. Hydromatic astringent. Use it twice a day. Hydromatic mattifying moisturizer. Use it in the morning. Terrific. It has zinc oxide in it as well. So it's mattifying and it also protects your skin a bit from the sun. Hydromatic beta hydroxy serum. Use it at night liberally. Very important. Will help with comedone formation. CMOD perfecting mask, which you can use 3 times per week for 10 minutes. But also if you have issues with hyperpigmentation and oiliness, you use the mud mask for 10 minutes, remove it and follow up with our BioLite sheet mask because it has great ingredients to reduce the hyperpigmentation. I have some questions which I will answer in a second. Hydromatic Clear Complexion Drying Lotion. Look at those ingredients. Kojic acid, salicylic acid, licorice root extract. Amazing. Mulberry root extract. Colloidal sulfur, zinc oxide, allantoin. Amazing. Real great results. And again, like I have said earlier, if you have a client with severe redness and inflammatory condition, you can actually do both. You can use the Hydromatic wash, but in addition to that, you can incorporate the Hydra 4 cleanser, the Red Out cleanser together. So use the wash first, follow up with the Red Out cleanser. And then, like I have said earlier, the Red Out serum. So how would you use it? Use the beta hydroxy serum, wait 10 minutes, and then apply after 10 minutes the Red Out serum on top of it, okay? That really will help with that inflammation